Okay, so if the title didn't already give it away, I've decided to do something a little different today. Instead of talking about or giving my thoughts on one particular topic, I'm going to be taking the three theatrically released Looney Tunes movies made thus far and giving a quick breakdown on how I feel about each one of them. I was mainly inspired to make this after my video on both Space Jam movies last week, but I don't plan on making too many like this or have this be a very long video. And I'll try to keep it spoiler free, but I can't promise I won't let anything slip. So just be a little cautious if you're on the lookout for that sort of thing. Alright, so let's get right into it. So, coming in at number 3 is Space Jam: A New Legacy. Though it gets the feel of the Looney Tunes correct and does have its share of funny moments, its emphasis on the serververse and trying too hard to sell an emotional story bog it down. Though, again, it does have its good points and it isn't awful, but I definitely rank it the lowest of the three. I'd say I'd give it between a 5.5 and a 6 out of 10. Ranking number 2 is the original Space Jam. Now, as I have freely mentioned in last week's video, it's definitely not the best movie ever made, and I know many have complained that it messes too much with Looney Tunes lore. However, for what it's meant to be, it very much succeeds. And I have to admit, as weird as it is seeing the Looney Tunes playing basketball with Michael Jordan, all the while not taking itself seriously, it's a rather enjoyable experience for me. So, no, it's not a cinematic masterpiece, but it's still a movie I enjoy watching. On the whole, I think I'd give it a solid 7 or maybe even 7.5. And finally, and I guess somewhat obviously, ranked number 1 would be Looney Tunes Back in Action. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into it because I plan on doing a whole separate video on this, but yes, I do believe that this was the best Looney Tunes movie. I think that this was the one that got the closest to using typical 7-minute short cartoon characters in a feature-length movie. Knew how to use each one within the story and achieve what Space Jam: A New Legacy tried and failed to do: inject a genuinely emotional story into a Looney Tunes movie. But again, I'll break this down a lot more in a future video, which will probably be posted next week. But for now, I think I'd give it an 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps this video up. Now, please keep in mind that I'm rating these based on how good they were as Looney Tunes movies, not just as movies in general. Because if I were to be rating them that way, these scores would obviously be different. And I also know that there is a fourth movie in the works, which I do have to admit I very much look forward to seeing and honestly hope it's so good that it compels me to make an updated version of this video once it comes out. But for now, that's where my ranks stand. And now I'd like all of you to tell me, which Looney Tunes movie is your favorite? Do you like them all, or do you think none of them were that good? Please feel free to discuss in the comments below. And as always, as a fellow Looney Tunes fan, you are free to disagree with my rankings if you want to. That is simply my opinion on the subject, and you are just as entitled to yours as I am to mine. Thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I hope to see you all next time.